Welcome to the essay. Tonight we talk about poetry and the necessary tenderness that has to happen with poetry. It has to have an internal empathy to be 100% effective and powerful, and something that could connect. Poetry, if it is to be taken seriously, must do more than decorate emotion. It must interrogate it. The poet's task is not merely to arrange pretty phrases like flowers in a vase, but to examine the human condition with precision that prose often fumbles. Yet for all its rigor, poetry requires a certain tenderness, a willingness to inhabit the emotional interior of another person. Empathy, then, is not a sentimental accessory to the craft. It is one of the essential instruments. This is not to say poetry should become a therapeutic exercise, by no means, dripping with consolations and soft-focused benevolence. But empathy is not the same as indulgence. It is rather the disciplined ability to imagine the world from a vantage point other than one's own. The poet who lacks empathy writes only about himself, and even then, not very well. The poet who possesses it writes about the world and writes with the authority of someone who has bothered to look. Empathy sharpens the poet's insight. It allows him to see the small tragedies that occur in ordinary lives, the quiet triumphs that never make the headlines, the subtle emotional weather that shapes a person's day. It is the difference between writing about people and writing for them. Without empathy, poetry becomes a sterile exercise in linguistic acrobatics, clever perhaps, but hollow, superficial. With empathy, poetry becomes a vessel for truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable. The genius of poetry, therefore, if we are permitted to use that word, the genius of poetry lies not in its ability to astonish, but in its ability to reveal. Empathy is the light by which revelation becomes possible. It illuminates the corners of experience that are too often ignored. It allows the poet to say with authority, "This is what it feels like for me." And kindness ensures that such revelations are offered not as verdicts, but as invitations. In an age that rewards outrage and punishes nuance, poetry does something completely different. It remains one of the few arenas where nuance can still flourish. It's still alive. Empathy is oxygen. Kindness is warmth. Together they allow poetry to perform its highest function, to remind us that the world is not merely a place of competing arguments, but a place inhabited by people who are fragile, contradictory, and mysterious. To write poetry without empathy is to write without any depth. To write without kindness is to write without grace, and to write with both is to participate in the oldest and most necessary human endeavor, the attempt to understand and connect with one another. Empathy and poetry go together.